Let's call the April 13th, 2023 meeting to order. Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. That's what. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Cullen?
Here.
Ms. Curran?
She's excused.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Here.
Mr. Poliafico?
Here.
Mr. Parolo?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Stiltner?
Here.
Ms. Paglione?
Excused.
Mr. Chicoletti?
Here. Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Solicitor, executive session.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. An executive session started at 6 p.m. tonight. It concluded just before this meeting started. All board members were present. Who are present tonight were present at the executive session, along with administrative staff. Litigation items, informational items, and collective bargaining items were discussed at the executive session, and that is my report.
Thank you, Mr. Trudeau.
You're welcome.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Cullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Reports and presentations. Dr. Davis.
Yes, tonight, on your desk, you have a program, list of activities that the 21st Century has been involved in ever since they've been in our district. And tonight, we're fortunate to have Mr. Evan Van Schie, the 21st Century Program Director, that will review the programs and activities that our students participate in.
Hello and good evening. My name is Evan Banshee, and I would like to start off by saying thank you to the board members, Bristol community, and of course the administration for inviting me out, talking about the great and wonderful programs that we're putting on through the 21st Century Grants here in Bristol Borough School District and at St. Mark's School. So I didn't want to bog you down with a bunch of information that we do, because it can go on forever. So I kept it pretty light. I would like to start off today talking about Snyder Girardi. We run program here Monday through Thursday from 2:30 to 5:30. Right now, we have active students participating of 151 students from K through 6th grade. Now, some of these attendances will fall under the basis of these following programs. You have the 21st Century Adventure Quest, the Warrior Academy. For different grants have different names, but that is our basic after-school program, where the students will come directly down from after school. They will get a free lunch provided by the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. They will work on homework, and then they will go off into small group tutoring. And when they're not in that session, they'll be doing STEM and STEAM activities, doing some recreation outside, in the art room, doing projects and other based activities. But off of our main after-school program, we also offer other clubs as well. We have the Service Learning Club with David Tyrell and Carla Tyrell. We have ELL tutoring with Mrs. Segola. We have additional tutoring happening with Mrs. Som, and these are for students outside of our main program that need just the support in the tutoring but couldn't give up the time for the whole after-school program. We also have a new club that just started recently, STEM Club with Mr. Crossan. Moving on to the Bristol High School. So we also run that program from Monday through Thursday from 2:30 to 6 o'clock. We try to accommodate for any students that run sports so they can come afterwards, get some of that homework done. Now, with the middle school and high school numbers, it's pretty hard to pinpoint active participation, but we have active registered students. We have 226 students that have registered for our program and have participated in something over the course of the year. Now, some of these students can participate in these following clubs. We have a lot, so bear with me. Just like there's your normal after-school program, we have Study Hub at the high school that is open from 2:30 to 6 o'clock, where they can come down, get a free snack, work on some homework, go to the weight room, go to other activities. We have Study Hall with all the sports teams. That started more in the winter. We were trying to get all the sports teams active in some kind of study hall, making sure that they are accommodated, making sure they're keeping their grades up, keep eligibility up so they can play on the field. Of course, we have our credit recovery. We have a tutoring, small group tutoring, schedule based with the teachers. We have service learning. We have cooking club, yoga club, wellness club, garden club, weightlifting or weight room club, and then just newly started, we started taking some students over the Bristol Riverside Theater to show main stage acts. Now, St. Mark's School is not a part of Bristol Barrow, but we include them in the grant, so I would like to just give you guys a quick update about the things that we do there. Their school day ends at 2 o'clock, so we run programming there from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and it runs much like Snyder Girardi. We have actively participating through the 3 grants that Bristol holds. We have 70 students participating. They get the same thing, free meal from the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, homework help, small group tutoring, and things like that during their time. One other thing, they have a teacher that does sewing club for their school. And then some outside programs that we provide to all schools is vendor-based activities. So when we have some time in our schedule, we'll schedule our friends at Silver Lake Nature Center or Village Arts, then they'll come in and provide programming for the students here in Bristol Barrow. Before I go on to summer programming, I would like to ask the board if they have any questions about what we put on during the after-school program currently.
I'd just like to jump in real quick to assist Evan, just so the board's aware of how much we receive with each grant. So cohort 9, C9, we receive $400,000 a year. Cohort 10, we receive $165,000 a year. And cohort 11, we receive $500,000 a year. So we receive over $1 million for these 3 grants.
And how long were those grants?
So cohort 11 just started. This is year 1 of what, 5?
Yes.
Yes. Cohort 9 is expiring this current,
Yes, September
this
will be the
September
last
coming
year.
up, so we will apply again for cohort 12. That's kind of, it just continues the cycle. And then cohort 10 is really, like as Evan mentioned, is more of a St. Mark's-based grant, but we're still responsible for it. And that's got a year or 2 left on it. I
That
believe.
runs until June of '24.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. McHugh, for that information. That's great information.
Yeah. So as we're approaching closer to the end of the school year, I would like to just make everybody aware that summer is on our minds and we are planning and prepping. So just so everybody is aware, community too, that the 21st Century Summer Camp here at Snyder Girardi is a referral-based summer camp. Referrals were sent out to grade level chairs. So once we receive those back, registrations will start going out. As registrations are filled in and we see how many spots we have, we might open it for open enrollment. But we want to make sure that we are addressing the needs of the students here in Bristol Barrow School District first. So referral-based summer camp. Camp registrations go out, but the camp operations, we will run June 26th to August 3rd. That's 6 weeks of free summer camp for Bristol Barrow School District students. Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Camp activities will consist of academic tutoring or academic classrooms with certified teachers and tutors. This classroom will focus on math and ELA subjects from previous year, keeping them up to speed to what they're going to be moving on to next year. Students' choice of summer recreation. It can't be a summer camp if we're not having a little bit of fun, right? So we provide the student's choice of performing arts or athletics. We provide field trips during our after school, our summer programming. We do walking trips to the Bristol Wharf. This year, now that Grundy Library is back open, we would like to get our younger students back to the library with the librarians, learning what the library is and all the assets that it provides to a student. We would like to continue this year doing a field trip with Driftwater Adventure, Bobby Moyer and Pat Mulhern's company. Because we live so close to the Delaware River, it's a very good idea to let students know about the safeties and the dangerous aspect of the river, but also the benefits of being next to the river. So the students will accompany Driftwood Adventure at Tyler State Park, where they'll learn about riptides, how to put a safety jacket on correctly, and then they'll get to go out on the paddling, on the kayak, and learn how to maneuver those kind of things, as well as doing some fishing off the bank. We also have Bristol Borough Police Department that comes to the camp to close the bridge between the community and that police department. We're hoping to have Franklin Institute come back to our program this year because of COVID and lack of staff. They weren't able to the last couple years, but they put on a great science show that we'd like to offer to our students as well as the ESY students that are participating in summer camp at that same time. We have programs like Village Arts, Peace Center that come into the program to assist in our structured activities. John Mundy last year was the first year he participated with us. He's a senior citizen who put together a track program, and he puts on he teaches these kids all about running and building muscles and things like that. And then the AOC sponsored some of those students to run in the Mill Street Run. As well as after school, the Archdiocese of Philadelphia provide free breakfast and lunch during summer programming. Now, this is not just for students that participate in summer camp. Snyder Girardi is an open meal site for any student under the age of 18. I want to make that very clear that any student that needs food during the summer can come to Snyder's door and we'll get them something to eat for breakfast and lunch. Summer at the high school, we'll have a middle school high school camp from rising 7th grade to 12th grade from July 5th to, this says July 7th, but I promise it's supposed to be 27th. We provide summer credit recovery and summer school for 7th through 12th grade. We have garden club, weightlifting, summer recreation for the students, service learning opportunities, and then also we work on summer academic packets, math and reading projects. At this time, is there any other questions from school board members or school board admin?
I have a question. So there's a cap on the amount of summer students that you have, and what's it based on needs, I guess?
So
You
how?
said you open enrollment after that?
Yeah, so how the cap works with students is that the money that you are given from the state and federal government, every student that we receive has a price per pupil. At that max students, we submit a site and summary abstract to the program officers at PDE listing how many students that we're going to service in the summer camp. 21st Century over the years have been changing their guidelines, and this year they changed the guideline of students that participate in summer also have to participate in after-school program. So this is one of the big hurdles that are going to be coming down the line, is making sure that parents understand that if they're participating in a free summer camp, that they will have to participate in our after-school program. This is why we're going to the referral process first, making sure that we're grabbing those students that are academically at risk and struggling, that can use the support going forward into the next year, that we can already identify them, help them in the summer, and continue that education into the after-school program of 2023-2024 school year. I hope that answered your question.
Okay,
So, I want to make sure I understand. So the only way a child can enter this program is if they agree to go to the after-school program.
That's going to be one of the contingents. PDE wants 85% of after-school attendance on a daily basis. So from summer school to all the hours that you participate in after school, any hours that you're sending operations in for, they want to see student participation for 85% of that time. That is a new rule as of this year. The state is getting some feedback about it. So it could change over time, but that's what we're being instructed from the state.
How many students last year were in the summer program did you have?
Just about 200 at Snyder alone, and then at the high school. I do have that information. I should have
I mean,
printed it
I'm
out.
just trying to, I wasn't
Yeah.
holding you to a number, I was just
Yeah.
trying to figure it out.
Roughly 200 from Snyder, and St. Mark's also participates here in summer camp, but Snyder students was roughly 200, and then the high school band as well.
And then whatever St. Mark.
Yeah, on top of that.
I just want to say, I love your program, I love what you guys do, I think you do a great job. The only thing I would recommend looking up here, to got a lot of older people. The font on here is so small. It's killing me.
Oh, get new glasses.
He's killing me.
Sorry.
Got a point.
No, I'm only kidding.
I'll make a note.
I'm only kidding, but they were
Go ahead.
pretty small.
At least for your copy,
Jeff,
I'll
who
make
has-
it a little bit bigger.
Who has a question down here?
I was struggling up here.
I just, when you say St. Mark's, is that all students, or is that Bristol Borough residents that attend St. Mark's?
So that's PA-based students. No federal dollars should be used on students outside of Pennsylvania, but that is allowance that students that are being bused into St. Mark's can still participate because it is PA-funded dollars. Yes.
Okay, just to clarify, okay? So if they participated this year in your after-school program, they could apply for the summer camp.
Yes, that's one of the,
If they did not participate throughout the year, they can't apply.
No, he said there
No,
was
no, no,
2%.
no.
He
No,
said
no,
like
wait.
15% or,
yeah,
right.
so how the reporting period works for 21st Century, it goes summer, fall, spring.
Okay.
So they want to see 85% of these students participating from summer
To the
school
fall.
year to spring. What they don't want to see anymore is just people using 21st Century as a free summer camp.
Right.
And not getting the benefits of the academics that we offer. Now, of course, not every student is going to be able to do that. We understand that. And I think that's some of the language that's going back to the state and PDE that, you know, we're down here, we know what's going on, that you're not going to see every single student go back. They have
I'm
other
still-
activities and things like that. So this is a new guideline that's
Is
being
it,
put out.
okay, so it seems, my mind is telling me that seems backward, because if you participate during the summer, so, oh, well, I'll send my kid during the summer, then when September comes, it's like, no, I don't want to send them to that camp.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be the other way around, like, if they participated from September to June,
Yeah.
well, then you're in the camp. So how do you
It's based on
retain,
need.
Well, yeah, and I
how do
think,
you retain that after the summer camp is over, then how are you sure you're going to retain all those people in September?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we've thought of that. I work for Ivan's Outreach, where we have multiple grantees. We sit down every Thursday and have program directors meetings. As of right now, what the plan is to run this summer camp as usual. But with these referrals, we know that these students are actively at risk or they need the academic support. We talk to the parents during our mandatory parent meeting. In order for that student to be fully committed and eligible, a parent must show up for that student for a mandatory parent meeting.
Okay.
At that parent meeting, I will have a conversation with all the parents about this new guideline, and that at some point next year, if they get referred into our after-school program, that in some capacity they will have to participate. If they do not participate, come next year when we are getting ready to do that next summer camp, they might not be eligible to attend that summer camp.
I got it.
And that's going forward from this point. Now, PDE is ever revolving and making new guidelines, and it's a federal grant, so we have to follow what they mandate. But things can change. We got our fingers crossed.
It's a great program. I don't see why they wouldn't want to attend
Thank you.
all year round. Thank you for
Thank
all
you.
your help
I
and
think you did a great job, man.
support. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Yes.
Professional.
I appreciate it. Kelly, you have,
Yeah, I did, Evan, thank you. And of course, you're always, like, you put together a great program and you're collaborative, which is awesome. The one thing that I just make a suggestion, and maybe you can speak to Mr. Crossan or Ms. Hodges, I know supports the after-school STEM program. So we have this emphasis always on literacy, math, which, and I know why, right? However, our STEM program has really taken off, and if either of them or anyone else who's qualified to and has the knowledge and all the technology that we now have is able to even integrate that like one day a week, because a lot of times teachers can't commit to the whole 5 weeks and they want to break, and we get that.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be a great addition to the program, so, I could throw it out there to them, or if you want to, whatever that they would be willing to, but,
Like
that program
integrated-
has really taken off, and it would be a great addition.
Like
And we
integrated-
have everything.
yeah, integrated to the kids during after-school program?
And well, they're doing it after school into the summer program.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
If they're available right now, because we have 3 active running grants, we have the space and the salary to bring on some teachers to run those kind of individual activities.
Yeah.
So any teachers
just-
that have hobbies like that would be great.
I think it just needs to be flexible in that it's once a week, because it's gonna be hard to now, some teachers down 4 days a week.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot.
Yeah, as long, that 85%, I know it sounds scary. Those students that are working in the STEM club are able to participate in our 21st Century After School program. So if they only want to run it 1 day a week, those students still have the options to attend our program for the full duration of the program. Hey, Nick.
Hey, so I just want to tell you, you do a wonderful job with what goes on at the high school. There's a lot going on,
Thank you.
and you're very visible, and you communicate very well. You're very well seen, everybody knows who you are, so that's a credit to you.
Thank you. I
But
appreciate
just
that.
to make a point to the bullet you have in here that's really hard to see, the sports team study hall.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, up until this point, through our entire school year, I think we only had a handful of student athletes, maybe 5 or 6, that have been ineligible for about a week, 2 weeks at the max.
That's great.
So that number compared to last year when we implemented this is astonishing, so
That's great.
that's a
And
good job.
That's a thank you to you as well, and Mike Poplawski helping me out, bridge that gap between myself and the head coaches of the sports teams, getting them involved. It takes everybody, it takes a village to get everybody on the same page. So I always do appreciate the support of our 2 principals here in the Bristol Barrow School District as well as our superintendent. Couldn't do it without you guys. I really appreciate you all inviting me to speak about our programs. I'll be more than willing to come back once summer is over, give you another update about how we did. Thank you again.
Evan,
Thanks for everything you do, Evan.
thank you, Evan. Don't worry about the small type. Those guys are fighting bifocals. That's what it is. They don't want to get the bifocal.
Like I said, I'll make one normal size and one
You
large
gotta get your
size.
I still got it, can't see it.
Just joking. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just want to say to the board that everyone here heard the excellent job that the staff at 21st Century is doing. And that's, just want to make my point when I say that. They're doing an excellent job.
Agreed, Dr. Davis, agreed. Okay, Ms. Rosado.
Thank you. At our last meeting, I had mentioned that our 6th grade student, Dylan Steska, was going to be honored at the Bucks County Intermediate Unit Art Show, and he was. I included some pictures so you can just see he and his family there standing with his piece of art, which is entitled Pumpkin by the Sea. They had a great night. I believe Mr. D'Angelo was there. It includes a little reception, and you see Dylan with the microphone speaking about his art piece, pictured with Ms. Scavello, the high school art teacher, and then Ms. Sutherland, our art teacher here. So I just wanted you to see kind of like the pictures really do it justice. So congratulations again to Dylan. And I would like to wish our 5th and 6th grade reading Olympians lots of luck, as on Wednesday, the April 19th, so next week, they will be at Neshaminy High School participating in Reading Olympics. And that's a county-wide competition where throughout the school year, under the direction of Mr. and Mrs. Tyrell, these children have gladly volunteered to read additional books to participate in this competition. And I think I'll be able to report out at our next meeting that we came home with a blue ribbon. So thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Tyrell, and then I'll have the list of the names of students who actually participated in the competition at our next meeting, along with some pictures as well. For our federal programs, we are just about finished completing our funding adjustments. That happens every year with our federal monies for Title I, Title II, and Title IV. We had nominal increases to each of those budgets, which basically we use to fund some additional monies for our math nights, which are coming up. You can mark your calendars, April 18th, April 25th, and May 2nd. And a little more money we put into our Outrageous program. And congratulations to our first, second, and third graders who participated in Quarter 3 Outrageous program the last week on Friday. And they did an amazing job, and Dr. Davis was here, and you saw again the engagement, the family engagement that it brings, and the confidence of the children just performing, and their love and that experience with the arts. So thank you for that. Once again, in just a week and a half, we're going to begin our PSSA testing. And I have a letter that'll go out to parents early next week, just kind of explaining the point of our PSSA. It's federally mandated, and that we have our students in grades 3 to 6 participate in ELA and math, and then for science, it's grade 4 and 8 only. And what I just want to say about PSSA is it gives us a lot of information as a district. It gives us, it provides us with a little bit of a roadmap on how we need to plan forward after we analyze the data, because typically we don't get the data, the results, until after the students have moved on. So you're thinking, what's the purpose in that? But it does allow us to plan curriculum and look more closely at the needs of our students and what we need to do differently. So I really just ask that the teachers do a great job in maintaining a nice, calming environment. It's kind of one of those things that we may not like to do it, but we got to do it. Sometimes we got to do things we don't want to do. So we maintain a nice, calming environment. They give them candy. You know, we don't put extra stress on the children. We just say, do your best. Do your best, and we take the numbers and we look at them and say, how do we improve as a district? What can we do differently? So that's coming up, and parents will receive a letter with a couple of links on there that they can read over some frequently asked questions, and also the cell phone policy regarding having cell phones around those tests, which are not permitted to do. So it's important for us as a district. So, you know, we usually have a lot of great participation and great support of the parents, and I do appreciate that.
Talk about that participation. Why
So
is that?
we need to maintain a participation rate for this assessment of 95%. And over the last few years, especially because of COVID and just people's feelings about testing in general have changed, and parents have opted children out. And there's a religious exemption that if it's against your religious beliefs, that is a provision that you could opt out your child. And then there's just another bubble that you just say, listen, I'm their parent and I don't want them to take it. Either way hurts us as a district. And what that's tied to is funding. And so an accountability for the district. And a little district like ours, 1 or 2 students makes a big difference, because 95% in a school where right now our numbers are in each of our grade levels is fewer than 100, is just 2 or 3 kids. So that's why I really say that the test does not need to be stressful for the children. We just ask them to do their best, and that's it. And it really, really is important, and this PDE is putting on some pressure on the districts to ensure that our children are participating, because there's been a big uptick in opting out over the last few years. So, and it is valuable information for us. It truly is. And then finally, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Ms. Som will be going to our annual federal programs conference at Kalahari Resort, and she graciously volunteered to do that on my behalf, and I appreciate it. And May 25th, so we have, obviously, you'll all be here because you're our band families anyway, but on May 25th, and if anyone's watching online, please mark your calendars. We have a great evening showcasing our arts programs here at Snyder Girardi. So it'll be our art gallery set up throughout the hallways. We have our chorus and band concert, which will take place that evening. Our gifted and enrichment program will have their science fair, which will be set up in the library. And then we will have our STEM marketplace open too, and you'll get to see all the great things that our children are making with the technology, the laser printer, the 3D printer, everything that we have now in our great STEM lab, which is why I wanted to include it in the summer program. And those items will be for sale because Mr. Crossan would like to turn that money over to buy more supplies. So you'll be really impressed, and it's going to be a lovely, lovely evening. So I hope that you're able to make it on May 25th. That's all.
Thank you, Mrs. Rizal.
Thank you.
Mr. Nastasi.
Yes. A couple things. Middle school PSSA testing. Our ELA dates will be 4/25 to 4/27. Our math testing will be 5/1 and 5/2. Our science testing will be 5/3 and 5/4. And all the makeup tests for students who couldn't make it for whatever reason will be the following Friday and the following week. Following that, in May, we have our high school Keystone tests. Our literature test will take place 5/15, 5/17, algebra 5/18, 5/19, and biology 5/12 and 5/23. We will be hosting SAT test at our high school on 5/6. Our third marking period grades will be posted tomorrow in our Focus app, so our report cards will, and all our final grades for the third marking period will be finalized. Our junior-senior prom will take place on Thursday, 5/11, from 7 to 11 o'clock at Falls Manor Hall. Students attending the prom will attend school virtually on that following Friday on 5/12. Softball, baseball, track, and unified track seasons have begun, and we're off to a great start for all parties. We will have a junior high bingo on 4/20 to support our PBIS and activities that we do for our junior high. We will also have a junior high lock-in on 5/5. All proceeds will, part of the proceeds will go to the Maria Ciccoletti Scholarship Program, and also the other PBIS activities we have and incentives. Our Junior High National Honor Society induction will be on 5/3 at 5:30 to 6:30. It's our second annual night for our Junior High National Honor Society. I think last year we had 19 members. This year, I think we have 17 applicants, which we will go through next week and go through their applications and see if they qualify or not. But it's an exciting time and it's a great night. Our Powder Puff football game will be 5/3 from 6 to 8 o'clock on the football field under the lights. It's a really cool and wonderful night, rain or shine. So it's a really wonderful night. We usually get a good crowd for Powder Puff. The girls are very, very, very competitive. They're already forming their teams from 9th to 12th grade. We are adding a couple 8th grade girls who currently play flag football. Our flag football team, our girls flag football team, is currently undefeated. We will be hosting, the schedule will be posted on our Instagram and on our Facebook. We will be hosting a 4-team little tournament coming up soon, and then playoffs. If you haven't seen them play, please go get a chance. They are really, really, really good. They're very organized, and they're very motivated. One thing I did not add, which I want to talk about and add, April 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, we will have our play, our high school play. I've been watching practice for the last how many months after school, and it's amazing what's going on. We have about 25 students total who are participating. Dane DeLuca and Mrs. Devine's doing a really wonderful job with these kids, but it's really good to see some students who really don't participate in some things get into the arts. And when you see these kids on stage, it really took my breath away. It was amazing the other day. So they're all doing final rehearsals. Tomorrow, yes. Thank you for that point. Tomorrow, the elementary school is going to get a little taste. They're going to get a preview of the high school play. So we're bringing over all our drama club and all of our actors over tomorrow morning, and they're going to put a nice little couple scenes on right here for the elementary kids to see that what they could be involved in going up to the middle school. And I opened up the entire drama club from 7th through 12th. We have a great mix of kids. So if you can, please come out. Tickets are $10 at the door. So we will also post it on our, again, website, Facebook, and Instagram, when all the times and dates. Go ahead.
And I think that there's baskets, like raffle baskets. I know a lot
Yes.
of people like raffle baskets and are lucky, so if you're not able to attend, perhaps you could buy some raffle tickets that also contributes to the program and maybe get lucky with winning a basket.
Or if you want to donate a basket, that would be nice. So that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nastasi.
Yep.
Mr. Chick, weren't we, as a board, want to do something about buying some tickets and
Yes.
Yes.
distribute them?
I put in for
Yep. We got it taken care of.
tickets to go over to Grundy.
Okay,
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
Question, Nick.
Yeah.
On the, I was reading this and you said it out loud, the prom,
Yes.
Why is that on the Thursday night, not a Friday? Is that how it's always been?
Well, we changed it. It's way cheaper.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and when we went there last year, we were the only school in the entire place. It was wonderful.
Well, I see here that they would have virtual on Friday.
The next day, yes, the people who
Is
go to the
there
prom.
any way that we can get them off?
Well, it's so they have to complete their assignments virtually. They can do it during the day. So
I'm looking out for them.
yeah, no, but it's still.
just
Oh, no, I'm looking at Kelly.
But
You have the date, you have the counts that we have to
Yeah.
attend so
Count
many
as a day,
days.
so they're
We
saying
gotta
it's
count.
virtual.
I hear
Yeah.
you.
Gotta count.
Yeah, so now, I also want to add, we also let them go a half a day that day.
You
So go
know
get
those
ready.
eyes not open up.
9:45 for the
9:45.
little rehearsal we have here.
Thank you, Nick.
So yeah, oh yeah. And if you want to come, let me know. See you on the dance floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nastasi. Okay, comprehensive plan, special education plan, ESSERS, Title I, Title II, Title IV.
We reviewed that already.
You reviewed? Okay, Dr. Davis, thank you. Public participation, anyone from the public?
Good evening. My name is Dory Morgan. I had a big thing prepared that I was going to talk about tonight, and Mr. Nastasi made a comment about watching kids get into the arts, and I've thrown my plan out the window. I've come and spoken before. I'm a sports mom most of the time these days. I've been coaching, I've been cheerleading, I've been doing all the things to support my kids through that. But that's not where my heart always has lied. I grew up in theater, in dance, in orchestra, in choir, and most importantly, I grew up in band. And this carried me through my experience. And I picked up an instrument, and it was magic. And it opened the world. I had tremendous opportunities in my life because of this, but I built relationships with other people. I pursued the academic study of it. In high school, I was figuring out how I could scam the system to have more classes in my schedule so I could take more music classes and pursue that. And I've never really seen that excitement in my kids. They enjoy music, but it wasn't like it was desperate, like searching for air. And then earlier this year, Dr. Downey comes to the district. And suddenly, my little boy, who's not so little anymore, who had been so focused on sports, was excited to play the clarinet. And I had my bad mother moment. I discouraged him. That was my instrument growing up, and I didn't want him to feel like he had to do it because I did it. And he went and he's picked up this instrument, and I have seen this ignite a passion, just a genuine pleasure, a pursuit of excellence that I was not expecting to see. I was not expecting to see this shift in him. But even better is I'm seeing it in his friends. I am listening to kids at Cub Scouts talk about their instruments and band rehearsals with Dr. Downey. I'm listening to parents sitting in the stands at rec basketball or at Little League talking about band, talking about their kids practicing, talking about what their kids are learning in music. And this is not just a little after-school thing. They're learning during the day, they're building on these skills, and it applies to so many different things. It applies to math, it applies to science, it supports social emotional learning, it's another language, it's another way of communicating. So with that being said, I need to say thank you to the board for bringing Dr. Downey. But I also need to ask, what's coming next? And I want to introduce why that's important. So I will step out of the way for this gentleman.
Hi, my name is Tristan. I'm in 5th grade, and I love playing my clarinet and doing band with my friends. And learning how to play has has been really fun, and I don't really have much else to say.
Tristan,
Hey, let's give the young man.
Tristan,
He is not the only person that wanted to talk about why they love band tonight. So we have some other
Oh,
friends
good.
with us this evening.
Good.
And so if
Tell you
anyone
something,
wants
I'm
to
good.
come up,
There's a choir player.
I want, I will step out of the way and let
Yes.
other voices be heard.
How you doing, board? I'm Byron Sanders. This is my daughter, Lana. Lana and I, and my wife, of course, are from California. We moved here a little over a year ago. My wife is from the area, born and bred. I met her while I was stationed here in McGuire.
Okay.
We dated, then I convinced her to marry me and move to California. Everything will be glorious. We'll have support network. We'll meet my family. It'll be great. All of my family moved out of California and my support network fell apart. But we had my daughter there. She was there, like I said, until about a year and a half ago. She is a California girl, but being so, she has felt a little like the sore thumb in a group, you know? She's gone from an environment where she knew everybody since preschool growing up to an entirely different, side of the country, whole new school, and a whole new way of interacting with people, In California, everyone's nice, it's true, but there's not the community that there is here, And that's something that's new for at least the two of us. My wife is just like, I told you we should have gone back to the East Coast for a while now. But one of the things that's really helped her feel like she's blending in and being part of the group in school has been the extracurricular things that we've been able to do. And one of that is her initially trying to learn the flute.
Okay.
We had difficulty with the flute. My wife is thrilled she used to play the flute. But then the good doctor mentioned try the clarinet. She tried the clarinet, immediately started being able to play it. And how have you felt playing the clarinet since then? She's a bit shy, but it's great to hear her playing it, practicing it at home. I recently changed a job myself where I'm actually able to be home for more than an hour and a half while everybody's awake. I used to work 14 hours with travel time, so my only interaction with them was for dinner and then quick half an hour before bed. And now I'm actually able to see her practice, and she has friends that come over and ask to watch her practice. And it's not great all the time, but she's learning, and that's the point. She wants to keep trying, and she wants to keep going, and she wants to do more with it. And I would really encourage that we move to that next step, so that way she can move to the next step with her friends and continue to play music and continue to be part of the community. Does anyone else want to step up and say anything? Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hi, excuse me, I'm Jenny Baracall. This is my daughter Ava. She's a fifth grader, and she's playing the flute currently, kind of similar to Dory. I grew up in the borough, and I played the flute under Jerry Collins from fifth grade till I graduated my senior year. And so I was a little nervous about her wanting to play the same instrument because I thought she just wanted to do it because, I did it too. But then she started with Dr. Downey, and she was telling me about this new Downey method, and I had never heard of it before, and I thought, I don't know anything about this, but let's see how it goes the first few weeks. I was like, ugh. But then I heard them play at the first concert, and I was like, wow, there's something different here. And she was actually not in that concert because he only put the students he felt like were ready at that time in, and I saw why. And she grew over the last, I don't know what it has been, like about 5 to 7 months now, and she is way ahead of where I was starting out in fifth grade. I don't know if it's exactly his method, but it's doing something, and she's teaching me things. And so I've seen her really grow in this and like practicing a lot. I mean, pretty much every day. It's just given her a lot of confidence. She's not really a sports person, and so, having this for her has been, a really good, outlet for her. She has really enjoyed herself. And I would just love to see our music program kind of get back to where it was in the past. I would love to be able to have them move on to the middle school and look forward to something, because I know they don't have that right now, and then to high school, and maybe someday these kids who are in the elementary band, we can see them in a new marching band in the Christmas parade. It's fun to see Truman's band, but I would love to see Bristol's band there again and see, my child doing that. So I would encourage you guys maybe to come out and watch the band on the 25th and, hear what they're doing. And we're just so thankful that you guys, brought Dr. Downey on, and I would just love that we continue this and maybe bring somebody in, if he's not going to be here in the future, that could,
learn from him and, continue this, music program, because I feel like it's
Can I
doing
ask you a question?
wonders.
Yes.
Sure.
So, Dr. Downey, we had a presentation by Dr. Downey.
Okay.
He gave us, recommendation. When Dr. Downey came on, he was hired as to teach instrumental music for 2 periods, and he reported to us that he needed more time because of the participation.
Yeah.
And he's maintained a good number of students. And I didn't play a musical instrument, but he's teaching them to read music so that they could play anything as long as they have notes. Were you taught to, not to put you on, were you taught to read music?
I mean, yeah, Mr. Collins taught us to read.
Right.
I have to say, I came from St. Anne's. I started the flute in 4th grade, and when I got here, I did not have, very good skills. And Mr. Collins taught me how to read music, and but the way she's learning it, I mean, he even showed us, some of us parents, and it just makes a lot of sense.
Yes, that is his, he's worked many years. He has a great background in music, and Dr. Downey, professes that, his system works. And I was here at the concert that we had, and he put that together in less than 8 weeks. And
Yeah.
I saw the students play, and I'll try and make the next concert. But he did give us a report. When he was hired, he was also hired as a consultant.
Okay.
And this was his yearly report. And he is recommending that, the board consider, hiring a full-time music instructor, because he said that he would only be willing to do it for a year. He wants to
Right.
go back in retirement. But he will remain on if we do hire a instrumental music teacher. He will remain on as a consultant. So this will be presented to the Budget Committee for their recommendation. I personally, there's 9 of us on the board. I would be in favor of, when Dr. Downey does retire, to, replace that. And I, asked him if he would remain on as a consultant so that the program, would grow. And I've read a lot since I've talked to Dr. Downey and asked him to come, and it's a proven fact that, students that play a musical instrument excel in the STEM, the algebra, the math, and so it is a good point, and we thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And-
I think Ava, if it's okay, I think Ava wanted to say a
Go right
little
ahead.
bit something about
Go
her,
right- sure, go
her
right ahead.
experience. You want to put it up there? Okay.
Well, I feel that the band program is a great way for us to express ourselves, and it's a great way for emotions to be let out through our music. And I feel like his method has made it fun and more easy, and I think it's made a lot of us feel very good of just about everything. It's been amazing. And I know that facts aren't really going to help prove our point, but most valedictorians have played an instrument.
I love that.
Thank you, guys.
That's perfect. Anyone else?
Did research.
Come on up.
The next time you all see Dr. Downey, you tell him that he owes you ice cream.
Good morning, esteemed board. My name is Pamela Morris, and this is my son, Micaiah Morris. We are band parents, as you can see here, And first of all, let me say, Mr. President, you just tore up my whole, everything I was about to say. But what I want to share with you is music has taken me all over this country. I was not born here in Bristol. I grew up in Quakertown, Lansdale, Ambler. I sang at the Lancaster Opera House. I played music almost everywhere. I'm a pianist. My son's a drummer. So there's a big dichotomy there. But understand, we are asking you for the continuation of the education of music so that when they get up to the middle school, it doesn't stop. So when they have their play, they have a band to back it up. And I think we can do that. And just tonight, another form was given. Somebody else wants to learn how to play the clarinet, I think it is. And we can do this. I feel we can do this. And Dr. Downey, I've known him. He's already pulled me out to some of his other events to help him out. And I think you have parents here that will step up, Now, I also heard something said, I wasn't eavesdropping, I'm sorry. Someone said, that is the world we live in. Music will take that world and turn it upside down on the head. It will link arms with people that you've never linked arms with before. And we use the song Amazing Grace when we're standing in front of candles, when we're standing in front of teddy bears, when we're standing in front of balloons. But that song, if you get rid of all that, that song has linked what? People together. And that's music. It transcends time. We can do this. I'm imploring you for the continuation of the education of music here in Bristol Borough. And I'm not sure if you guys were around at Christmas time, but my son and I was the nut running up and down Mill Street drumming, saying, come on and sing Christmas carols. And the one thing I did hear was a lady said to me, well, a couple of them said, I heard the drumming and I wanted to come out and see what was happening. And I went, oh my gosh, that little bit. They heard the drumming and they came out. I want to hear 15 drums out of Snyder. And I want to hear 15 drums out of the high school. So that down at the Wharf, instead of doo-wop and stuff, but doo-wop is nice, that we can have our kids showcase themselves. It gives them confidence. It gives them assurance. It gives them something to do. Those of us who are not sports. I play sports. Yep, I sure did. Played the piano, fingers taped up. I did it. And we can do this. We are here tonight because we are committed. We are committed. And as you can see, I'm a very passionate person. When I first heard Ms. Snyder, I went out and brought her books. Went out and brought books, 5, 10 of them, said, here's drum books. Let's get these kids learning. Let's get these kids learning. I was so excited because not everybody can afford private lessons. I'm struggling now, private lessons with him. Him and Dr. Downey are together. He still takes private lessons, but to see it all mixed together, this kid used to never leave my side. And he's still standing here now. But he has come out of his shell.
Yes, he has.
And music has done that for him.
What instrument does he play?
He plays drums. And he's also, they've been using him as a percussionist because he can read music. So, you know, the jingle bells, the maracas, they've been using him to play anything because he's learning how to read music and not just playing to a soundtrack. And we can do this. And I'm excited to see Little Mermaid. I want to see what this has become. Okay, any questions? If not, I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You get me again. I'm putting my Thrive hat on now. I'm also going to mention Mr. Nastasi. I want to thank him on behalf of Thrive for how he's opened up the gym for our basketball clinic. We have 2 weeks down. We've got 3 weeks to go. We have a great turnout this time. The Cub Scout pack has come out to participate. We've had fantastic buddies come from the middle school and high school to support our athletes. We're doing some great things. So building on that, you have an announcement up on at your desk for Challengers Kickball Clinic in May. We're going to be over at the Otter Street Fields. We're going to be doing the same time, a similar format, but this time our kids are taking on kickball. So we'll be launching the registration link in the next couple of days, but we're very excited about this. And it's been great to see the kids work on skills, build up energy, and get to have that team experience with some peers and some buddies that help support them as they need to. And then finally, we have the Sesame Classic registrations are still happening. I'd like to thank Ms. Curran for registering after the last meeting. I'd love to see more of the board faces there. It helps us support learning support at Snyder Girardi.
We'll post these on our media websites, Instagram, Facebook, and we'll also put on our service learning to get more of our students involved.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right.
Lori, maybe is what we'll do, maybe I can get some board members to volunteer, maybe we'll come over and we'll challenge that kickball team, how's that sound?
Oh, we could have
I'll
fun with
play
this.
if you play.
I play every single time.
I don't know if I can hang in there.
I'll play.
That's, you know what, maybe.
Oh,
Listen, I'm serious. I mean, maybe we could arrange something that we could have a
Yeah.
little kickball game, some board members, some,
But I'm just saying, I would love to see you come by, but you have to be ready to play, because if you have met little Win Morgan, he is not letting you anywhere near that game unless you're participating with him. And we can ask Mr. D'Angelo about that for sure.
we'll make sure we recruit some good people.
Wear comfortable shoes, come and participate. But the kids, if you're there, they want to see you part of it. And they love getting to play with their buddies. They also love getting to play with the adults. And the trash talk occasionally gets very intense. So brace yourselves.
Maybe we could arrange that.
But they're learning so much, and we're so grateful that we're able to run these programs, have the space to make it happen, and, that we continue to build on, we get more kids every time we offer something new. I'm excited to see what it's doing for them and the relationships they're building outside of the classroom with their friends and with future friends. So,
Thank you, Dory.
thank you.
Thank you.
Morris, you gave me an idea, Ms. Morris there, about Dr. Downey. I'm going to talk to him, and maybe when it's the due-up, we could talk, and maybe our students, no, seriously, maybe, down the road, they'll give us 15 minutes or so, and the students could play at the due-up.
That would be sharp.
I'll put that in his agreement. He accepts all of that. He's asking for something, so maybe that'll be a negotiations point. But I thank everyone for coming tonight, and Dr. Downey gave us a very good presentation into why the position is needed, and I didn't really see anybody say no. So, but we'll take a look at it, and it's under serious consideration.
I may actually take him up on his Downing method. Because I can't read a lick. Well, he promised Mr. Poliaco down there that it's a guarantee, so I may take him up on it.
It works. He says he has a good system, and here's the proof. Well, thank you.
Great job.
Anyone
Thank you
else?
very much.
Anyone else from the public? Okay, that closes public participation. Let's move on to the routine monthly business.
Okay, item, what was that, item 6? Mr. President, I motion do we approve the minutes of the March 23rd, 2023 meetings. Also approve the list of bills for the April 2023 meeting, and approve the treasurer's report for March of 2023.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. New business.
Item 7, under new business A, I motion that we approve the Berkheimer Tax Administrator to continue collecting the occupational privilege tax.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item B.
I motion we approve the following depositories for the 2023-2024 fiscal year, and that would be Penn Community Bank, PSD LAF, and William Penn Bank.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item C.
Mr. President, I motion to approve the following medical personnel for the 2023-2024 school year. That would be Paul Raven, DDS School Dentist, James Daniels, DDS School Dentist, and John Pickard, DO, School Physician for Athletic Examinations.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item D.
Mr. President, I motion to approve the settlement for student John Doe.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item E.
Mr. President, I motion to approve to award the contract for the Bristol Borough Junior Senior High School air conditioning project to McCluskey Mechanical with a base bid where they will supply the equipment of $205,000, and alternative one, the installation of the base bid equipment for $350,735 for a total contract award of $556,235.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen? Any questions?
Question.
Yes.
Once we approve this, when will this project start?
I believe that it will be over the summer.
During summer? Okay.
Yeah. So when September comes, that, I guess, 100 of the classrooms will have air conditioning, excluding the gymnasium and the auditorium.
Perfect.
The question I was going to ask was how many rooms, but you did answer that.
I believe that this will cover
should be covered.
the last map that I looked at. And if not, then, down the road we'll add. Mr. Chula, do you have anything to add to this?
No, I think you've covered it well.
I just wanted to state that there was 2 qualified bidders for this project. They were reviewed by Mr. Chulov, and McCluskey Mechanical was the lowest bidder.
Okay, and Mr. Chula reviewed all of the bid documents?
Yes, we reviewed those, and we also Site Logic also participated in the review. They were very helpful with that.
Site
too.
Logic is our engineers on the
Consulting,
project.
right, yep.
Is there, are these units, they're split units?
Yeah, I believe the recommendation
the
was
specs
that
included that.
we have the Daikin unit now in about 35 of our classrooms, and we were asking for the same amount. The same unit. There was they also didn't McCluskey also submitted an alternate bid for another kind of air conditioning unit that we're not familiar with? It would have been $30,000 cheaper, but we're going to stick with what we have. We know that they're reliable.
And that was recommended by Mr. Gatto.
Yeah.
These are heaters too?
What's that?
Yeah.
They throw heat too, right?
I believe,
Yes.
yes, yeah, they're the split unit that supplies, everything. And I believe there are, this is for 40?
Yeah.
45 units. 45 units.
Yep.
Very good.
I
Okay.
do have another, so they do supply heat. Will we not be using our normal heat if we're
It's a
using-
supplement, Mr. Cullen.
It's
It's a
a
supplement. It won't fully supply the room with heat.
No.
It's a supplement to it. I mean, it'll make it warmer, but not like our boilers would.
And they could use them as each room independently
correct.
needs whatever, so. Good, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions, motion carries. Personnel.
Item A, Mr. President, I motion to approve to advertise for the extended school year teachers, district assistants, PCAs, and a nurse The rate of pay as per the master agreement. Deadlines for the letter of interest due no later than Friday, May 5th, 2023.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item B.
Item B, Mr. President, I approve the retirements of the following professional staff effective at the end of the 2023 school year. Jennifer Agasar with 34 years and Roger Roth with 22 years.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item C.
Mr. President, I motion to approve the retirement of Milagros Hanan, paraprofessional, effective immediately. Ms. Hanan has been with the school district for 29 years.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries.
Item D, Mr. President, I motion to approve to advertise for a paraprofessional position at a salary of $26,756 with benefits as per negotiated agreement.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions?
Is this, is this effective immediately?
Yes, we got to fill that position.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed it. I apologize.
D is related to C right above it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item E.
Okay, I motion to approve the resignation of Joanne Sutherland, part-time elementary art teacher, effective at the end of the 22-23 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item F.
Last one?
Yep, last one,
Mr.
Mr.
President, item F, approve the permission for 2 weeks unpaid leave days for Suzanne Spadacino, district assistant.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cullen, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Information and discussion. Our next public board meeting will be on Thursday, May 4th. Okay, let me go around the horn here. Mr. Smith.
I'd like to thank Kelly and Nick for keeping up and doing a great job and for their update tonight. I'd like to thank Evan from 21st Century with the terrific update that he gave, which is on a terrific program. And I wish all the spring sports good luck. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Cullen.
I'd just like to thank everybody that Mr. Smith just thanked.
Okay.
It's going to come true.
Mr. Parolo?
Yeah, I got to go with that too. And the air conditionings, every classroom will have it, high school, here. And we're also going to be redoing gym floor. There's a lot of other things that'll be done. So we should have everything completed within a year or two. But definitely the air conditioning will be done this year. So, thank you.
Mr. Cullen?
I do have one thing, I'm sorry. I'd like to thank Ms. Morgan for all the work that she's doing with the special need kids and stuff. She does the basketball, she's doing kickball now. She was in there doing the rec, and she's really doing an amazing job with all the kids and all the programs. I'd like to
Great.
thank her.
She does, yes.
Yeah, the rec is really
Yeah,
something.
that's what we need.
And the band is something too. So
Yes.
we're not losing that.
Uh-oh. Hear that?
There's another one.
There's two. Okay, anything else, Mr. Parolo?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Polyafka?
I just want to wish the retirees a happy and healthy retirement. Dory, congratulations, great job on all you do. And everybody else, Kelly, Nick, Chris, Jen, thanks. Mr. True Love, excellent job.
Thank you, sir.
Some of these extremely difficult cases that you deal with and present to us, and your professionalism is greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
That's it.
Mr. Stiltner?
I didn't want to, I promised my daughter I wouldn't embarrass her, but yesterday they had the middle school reading Olympics, and they had 5 participants and the other schools had 12, 15. And they received enough points to get second prize ribbon.
Really?
So shout out to them.
Great.
Ms.
Great
LaRosa
job.
and the team.
Great.
Also, I just wanted to reiterate the support for Dr. Downey and the music program. My son's in it, 4th grade. He needed something, some kind of outlet, and this helps him. So it's a great program and have our full support for it. And he does drums as well. So, and he was so excited when he came home one day. He goes, guess what? Gave me a high five. He goes, I got bass drum. So he was so excited. He switched from the snare to the bass. And so, yeah, it's just a great program.
So there's number 3. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mr. Stiltner. Dr. Davis.
Yeah, I'd just like to, again, thank the parents. Both you hit on something about when parents take the time to come out. We know the negative, okay? But it's nice to hear people take the time, do their homework, and come out and to share that with the board and administration, because I can tell you that they will do whatever they need to do to continue to make Bristol the best it could be, okay? So it's good to hear the other part that we don't usually hear a lot, okay? Because it's easy to complain, right? So on behalf of the board and administration, we thank those parents that came out and passionately spoke about things that this board and administration is trying to build up.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Mr. Trullo.
Just again, really enjoyed continuously working with Dr. Davis and the administrative staff, certainly the board. Also, as an aside, I'm the father of 3 kids who were in the music program at their school, one of whom became a professional musician. I believe very strongly in music programs, and I still struggle to play the bass guitar and the trombone. So. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trullo. Mr. D'Angelo.
Just a couple things. I know our girls might have lost today, but I believe our boys won, correct?
Girls lost to South, boys won.
All right, and the girls played Council Rock, which is one of the bigger teams, and it was really a good game. So it was a nice day outside and getting out. Kelly, our STEM, April 21st, we're going to put the Fab Lab, right?
Yes, so Mr. Crossan, and along with Mrs. Bannon and Mrs. Kramer, and their classes, and I think Ms. Morgan will be attending as well. So we were granted the opportunity to take some classes, and we decided on those classes to take them up there to the Fab Lab. So it's all, everything
Friday,
was
right?
paid for.
Great. And I'll
21st.
see you guys there. Okay, just one other thing. I didn't ask during but I know that we did retire, one of our art teachers retiring down here. And that's something else that kind of goes hand in hand. So I hope that we get a chance to take a look at that and don't let that go unfilled, because again, we're seeing results. And I do want to thank the parents that are here and the parents that left, because like Dr. Davis says, you always hear about the things that aren't working. But what we have now is something that, again, we started with Mr. Downey in hopes that we could light some embers, and the guys started a forest fire. So I appreciate that to hear from parents that it's working, something that's working. That makes our job easy, right? If you tell us there's lots of issues that we can't solve, right? You never know what the solution is. But this is easy, because we're hearing it from you, we're seeing it from kids, that it's working. So that's something that surely got my support, okay?
There's number 4. So, Mr. D'Angelo said everything I wanted to say, so it saves me some time. But I did receive a call from our state representative, Mrs. Tina Davis, and she's going to sit down with the superintendent, our business manager, and our Chris McHugh, and Mr. George Gatto in charge of facilities, and I believe just to see if there's any improvements that she could, or funding that could be brought into the borough that would help our residents. So that meeting is scheduled for next week?
18th or 19th.
Okay, so good luck.
Yes.
Okay, so with no further business, do I have a motion to adjourn? Second? Mr. Parolo? Meeting adjourned.